camera had cut on me. I was going into Anthony Joshua, man. See, and even he starting to realize, you know, this world and what it seemed to be, man. He got the riches and the fame, can buy anything he wants, can have any female he wants, could go anywhere he wants, could live anywhere he wants. But he realized something missing in his spirit. What's missing? Salvation. That's what's missing. All right, and I was going into that. That's why you got to flee the shadow of these world. There's these celebrities of Most High bringing them down, man. Look at this. Matter of fact, you get that. Good. It says, let me read this. Isaiah chapter, no, matter of fact, let me read the article. It says, Anthony Joshua reveals he's battling a midlife crisis ahead of Alexander Povetkin clash. Joshua says, life as a heavyweight champion of the world is not all what it's cracked up to be. I'm going to skip all the introductions. You know, 3 world belts at the pinnacle of the sport. It says, despite all that, he says a midlife crisis is already upon him. Joshua defends the WPA, WPO, IBF belt against dangerous and experienced Russian Alexander Povetkin at Wembley Stadium. Let me jump on down. But even his current status is not enough to protect him from a pesky existential crisis. Thankfully, he has so far manifested only reluctance to cut his hair. But Joshua says a life as the heavyweight champion of the world is not all what it's cracked up to be. I've got on the stage right now where I want to live. He said, I got to the stage right now. What do I do? What do I live for? Asking nobody in particular. What am I doing? Who am I impressing? It says, he said, I'm in a gym. You get to a midlife crisis and you just don't care no more. It is one of those things. I was saying to Eddie Hearn, that rat, okay? Eddie Hearn using that guy. On the phone the other day, nowadays you see people my age on the beach driving the most flash cars and living an exotic lifestyle. And then you know what it's like when you are younger. I want to be heavyweight world champion of the world. You become it and you don't think it's going to change your whole life, but I realize it doesn't. He said, I'm just still sitting here, small room, content with my flat, and I just hit a world where I was like, you know what? I just don't care anymore. Okay? He said, I'm not opening Tesco's or SADAs anymore. I'm done with all that stuff. I'm not going to the GQ Awards right now. I'm just keeping my head down. Humble, humility. Okay? So he pretty much hit a ceiling, man, in this society. Okay, all the things that they have to do. He said, listen, he's getting tired of that, man. And Anthony Joshua got to be at least worth $50 million. I don't know how much he's going to get paid for that fight. Probably no less than 20 million pounds. Probably, 20-something million dollars, man. And the article goes into it, man. You realize something is missing in his spirit. Like I said, what's missing is your salvation. Because the Most High said it best. Micah 2:10. We're in sin here to prosper, man. Okay, all these rappers is dying or they losing their mind. Okay, like Kanye West, that dumbass, man. Alright, the other rapper that died, XXX, whatever that character. You see what I'm saying? DMX bugged out, Lil Wayne out of his mind. All them guys is gone, man. Chris Brown, drugged up, tattoos everywhere. He's lost. They feminized 50 Cent. He emasculated him. You see? Where I was going to read? Oh yeah, Micah. Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Because the Heavenly Father said it best. Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. This is not your rest. Okay, this is not the kingdom. Alright? And you also had Beyonce's drummer said that she's a witch, man. And she casts spells. And she believed in all them different African deities. Okay? But them jakes on the west coast of Africa and Haiti be doing that voodoo, man. And that Santeria. And look at them islands, man. Look at them countries today. They're at the bottom. Okay? You can tell Beyonce, she's no longer the same, man. None of you niggas are the same. Okay? Because you're doing things that's adverse to your nature. Okay? And the Most High said it best. Read again. Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. America is corrupt, man. It's vile, man. Okay? It's a cesspool, man. It's wicked, man. It's unrighteous, man. Okay? They have no morals, no ethics. Everything they do is against the laws, statutes, and commandments. And it was built off oppression, lies, deceit, hypocrisy, man. Rape, robbery, and murder, man. Homosexuality, man. So why in good conscience would you want to make it there or prosper or become great? We're against this place, man. And you jakes in your spirit, you against this place, but you bucking up against it. That's what you guys sold out. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you like it has. You celebrity jakes are destroyed, man. Alright? Even with a sword destruction, and above all, Yahawashi gonna destroy you. Okay, like this jake right here. See? Sodomite, man. With his boyfriend Esau. He's destroyed, man. He's destroyed, man. See? That's an example of the scripture right there. The Bible tells you, Proverbs 12:26. Okay, y'all know America gonna be destroyed? Of course not. Just a dildo head, man. We read Proverbs 12:26. America is gonna be destroyed in the Third World War. You so-called white people and you other nations, you're going to captivity, aka slavery. Alright? Israel is on the rise, man. Yasharallah, man. Proverbs 12:26. They tackle some of that witchcraft today. It all depends on the spirit movement. And there's not no conspiracy because she clearly said on video that she deals with familiar spirits. That's what Sasha Fierce was, man. So people can't come with that conspiracy. People are dumb anyway to say stuff like that, man. Alright? You don't even know what the word conspiracy means, man. Proverbs 12:26. It says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. Who's our neighbor? These other nations. Okay? And this scripture is talking about the nations that were round about us. We are more excellent than them because we received the law, statutes, and commandments. But it says what? But the way of the wicked seduceth them. And who's the wicked? Esau. Alright? He has seduced you, man. Okay? Esau has seduced y'all, man. That's why y'all sold out. Okay? That's why y'all bind yourself to that negative energy. So you can prosper in this world. You've been seduced, man. You've been worn out. As it is written in the book of Daniel. Let me read that. Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. It might be Daniel 7. Let me see. Here we go. Daniel 7:25 says, going into what? Let me read verse 24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom. Stop at 23. Daniel 7:23. We've been going into a lot lately. The horn and the beast and the 7 heads. That's the spirit, man. The spirit of prophecy. Because that's the time we in. Daniel 7:23. Thus he said, the 4th beast, which is the Roman Empire. Okay, in America is a reincarnation. Or I should say, well, yeah. Okay, the Roman Empire reincarnated, man. The 2nd leg. Shall be the 4th kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. Yeah, because all those kingdoms are really a monarchy. Okay? This kingdom here was different. They have a different system that was set up. It was diverse. You see what I'm saying? It says, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. It says, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings. These are the 10 common markets that made up NATO when it first started. Okay? And Esau tried to offset prophecy by making it 12. But really, Spain and Portugal was supposed to be one horn, and England and Ireland was supposed to be one horn. Okay? NATO or the EU. See what I'm saying? Those are the 10 common markets. And of course, you got more countries today. But the whole European system, okay? And America, of course, is the 8th head that the Bible is talking about. Also known as the whore that controls the beast or NATO. The head of NATO. It says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, which he's doing right now. Okay? He spoke great words against the Heavenly Father, man. By saying he was Jesus Christ, by taking the truth and turning it into a lie. Okay? By allowing things that he knows that's clearly against the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Homosexuality is one of them, man. That's speaking great words against the Heavenly Father. And then swearing on the book. Which that's against the Most High, man. Yahawashi told you that. Matthew the 5th chapter. It says, and he spake great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. So our people have been what? Worn out. Been broken down. Like the scripture says, you've been seduced. Okay, you're worn out. Because we've been here. Next year will be 400 years, man. We've been here this long, man. So that's how you know we're on the last seconds of this empire. Only thing we're waiting for is a microchip to come mainstream. That's it. That's all brothers is waiting for, man. World War III is already taking place. The economy going to crack. There's going to be more terrorist attacks out here. It's definitely going to be martial law out here. Only thing waiting for that microchip to come mainstream, man. And the new currency, man. That's it. And when that happens, that's game over, man. Alright? When that thing become mainstream, it's going to go from mainstream to being mandatory. And everything's just going to speed up. And Yahawashi going to crack them clouds open while the missiles come in and evaporate this place, man. Eviscerate, man. Let me read on. It says, shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws, which he have changed times and laws. Okay, I just mentioned some of the things that he's upholding. He has changed times. Okay? Where they daylight savings and all that foolishness, man. And having New Year's in the winter time, man. Okay? And creating all these different calendars and just, you know, his own and naming the days after week after certain pagan gods, man. That's him changing times and laws. Alright? The ancient way of doing things is everything is based off the moon. Okay, but this is a solar-based calendar. It says, and it shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. So times is what? 200 times 100. Dividing of a times is 50. 350 years. So from 1620 to 1970, that was a period of gross darkness. Because in 1620, or I should say 1619, as the first slave ships came over here in 1619, that was from that time period to 1970, that was a time of what? Darkness, man. All the tribes are on this side of the world, they all met up, and that was a period of gross darkness, man. Until our Bibbins came on the scene and started preaching what? The gospel of the kingdom, man. See? And here we are today. Here we entered other men's labels. And we go pushing it, man. Starting with the apostles and the elders on down. And to you other brothers, man, you future prophets, man, that listen online, that you getting your faith built up. Okay? You sharpening your spiritual sword, man. Go out there and join a local camp. Go out there and push the word, man. You got liberty in Yahawashi. Take advantage of that liberty, man. And push the right doctrine. Alright? Push the gospel of the kingdom, man. The good news. Which is what? Salvation is here. It's near. Redemption draweth nigh, man. Kala Yahawah Yahawashi, man. Okay? It's time to put your body on the line. It's time to look like a fool for Yahawashi. Because you're going to be greatly rewarded. Okay? Matter of fact, let me get that. First Maccabees, the 3rd chapter. First Maccabees. It might be the 2nd chapter. Yeah, it's the 2nd chapter. First Maccabees, chapter 2. There we go. First Maccabees, this is Matthias talking to his 5 sons. It says First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 61. And this consider ye throughout all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome, man. So we're not going to be overcome, man. The scripture says that what? The elect, they conquered the beast through what? Through the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Read on and read again. First Maccabees 2:61. And this consider throughout all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Fear not the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into the dust, and his start is come to nothing. That New World Order. Job the 20th chapter. Job the 20th chapter, man. Okay, today Esau is lifted up. But like Yahawashi said, we get Luke 10:18. Luke chapter 10 verse 18. And he said unto me, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Which we know Satan is ruling through a certain group of people. Those people are the biblical Edomites, the so-called white people. So your kingdom is falling fast as lightning. See? It says, read it again. It says, and he said, I said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So his structure, his power, man, is going to fall, man. Esau's kingdom is falling, man. Matter of fact, there's a scripture I had in my mind, man. Let me read that precept one time. It says, scriptures, they pop in and out of your mind, right? I guess it was in the spirit. It'll come back to me. But Yahawashi said, Esau's kingdom is fallen, man. Alright? Matter of fact, let me read this precept here. Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18. Oh yes, Job 20, that's the scripture. Pop back, Kala Yahawashi. Read Job 20. Job chapter 20. Job chapter 20, verse 22. Job 20:22. The fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, difficulties. So he's going to have a hard time setting this new order. Okay? There's going to be a lot of insurrections. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, when he thinks he has that new world order fully set up, which is what? The microchip, man. Okay? Making everybody a slave, man. Alright? The Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain upon him while he is eating. Okay? He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Those missiles. Those nuclear missiles, man. What's the iron weapon? Let's get Isaiah 54. Let's get the scriptures, man. Isaiah 54, verse 16. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. Isaiah 54, verse 16. Behold, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, which are all these nuclear scientists. Okay? Alright, it says, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work, the missiles. And I created the waster to destroy, man. That's the nuclear bombs, man. Started with the atom bomb, now you got hydrogen bombs, nuclear bombs. They created what? To destroy. Because Esau's gift, the so-called white man gift, is the sword, man. Genesis, the 27th chapter. So when you're about to fill your belly, you're going to get hit with the iron bow. Okay? The same weapons you created, it's going to lead to your destruction. Because Yahawashi said it best. What did he tell Peter? Let's get it. Matthew 26. Matthew chapter 26, verse 50. And Yahawashi, even called Jesus, said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahawashi and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahawashi stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then Yahawashi said unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place. All they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. You see? In fact, it's another precept I'm going to read. you live by the sword, you die by the sword. The scripture says that Esau, right? So, like the scriptures go into when Simon Peter chopped off the serpent's head, the Lord said, put that sword away, man. First of all, I got angels, I could call them down from heaven. So we don't gotta worry about that, man. You gotta have faith in this time, man. Read on though. It says, so if you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword, man. So you gotta believe what? You're gonna read. Again, what we gonna live by? What is the elect man going to live by?
I'll feel that.
There's a Subway. Subway sandwich shop.
Galatians 3:11. That's what we're going to live by. It says that no man is justified by the law in the sight of the Most High. So no man can prove himself word to the Heavenly Father based on keeping all 600 verses. Because you can't do it, okay? Alright, you can't do it. It says, it is evident for the just shall live by faith. That's our belief. We live by our belief. It's our belief that keeps us going. It's our belief that keeps us coming out here week in and week out. And that's another thing I've been seeing through the spirit. You have to get on there right now. A lot of guys who fell out, it's going to pop back up, man. Why? Don't pop back up, okay? Just stay in the world, man. You made your decision. And your decision was that you couldn't carry your cross anymore. Let me get see if I can get a scripture. That's not what I want to do. What I'm saying about you guys, man, you pull out the truth, man. Because you didn't have that basic principle called what? Faith. You didn't believe. You did not believe. Okay? So don't, you know, the contact laws and all that. Stay in the world. Okay? You didn't care about brothers and people. Stay in the world. You got these other guys, other kids, they're trying to pop back. It's too late, man. Now you got some examples of the prodigal son. That's like, why would you want to test those waters, man? You got some examples in the scriptures where men who fell out. The Most High had pardoned him, but that's not too many. Okay? The vast majority of you, 90% of the time, that's it. When you're out, that's it.